mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he was my round. Hey, play my niggas, lay you down, they all down the ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. Living hell, round here spit shell. Same nigga you put on to hit the standing tail. How the fuck you turn your back on a nigga that love you? Treat your his daddy killed him, put him in the trunk, set him on fire. His white up, what happened if I die? Look my babies in the eyes, I gotta stay alive. I put my ego on the shelf and my pride to the side. I'm with some niggas who gon' step and got God on it. Lord, I gotta stay alive. Face the east, pray alive. I seen heaven turn to hell. I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul. Stand lost. My anger like Uncle Chris. Lord have mercy on my soul. Stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost on down the ride. Keep my gun in my arm. I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm. I gotta stay alive. My 413. Fuck the world. great. Don't care about what they say. Hey. Fuck on my honey hanging out the AR. I got a pit hanging out the pistol. He say it's corner, I'm just being realistic. I be on them corner, posted with the realest. If it's the tell her go make some business from scratch. She bitch in the different breed of black men. We don't do the back. I remember back when I was really trapped, trying to get the racks, selling dope. Black man. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They tell lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on the command and general, your honor, we unaffiliated with them. Like they tongue and they say they keep that shit 100. We unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until them. I got the win victim. Say you a goon, you just another person. How you my brother? You ain't in here with me. But then forgive me if I'm wrong. I don't hit it pause when niggas say that they be looking up for niggas to slide on. The slide that I nigga, the better for kingdom of heaven. You niggas get wet up by me cause I'm fed up by rep UPK. My niggas won't let up. Got choppers, got 9s, AKs, Berettas. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with me and my nigga. Niggas snitching in the act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come under command and general, your honor, we unaffiliated with them. Like they tongue and they say they keep that shit 100. We unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. On some weirdo shit. And to be honest, that's why we unaffiliated with them, yeah. Okay, my tank off in my got me mad a soldier. She mad a warrior. Priest of prophet. Bitch, I'm exploding. Let's get stupid damn sneaky bitch. No love. Blocking all of my channels. My bitch can't see what I'm doing. I make big noise and keep going. To these superstars, I'm out of one. I got big drip, what you call it? Make that money rain like a faucet. All these bitches wanna commit adultery till I pull up and she scoping. High style, lab pre does. Once gonna pull them out, even knowing I don't play games with no hoes all.
Shalom, y'all, Shimmy, top of the throne. Shalom, y'all, Shema, top Shimmy, y'all, God. It's the Israelite School, the University of Practical Knowledge, started on 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Command General Yohanan. All right, I want to take the water for the sisters coming out, water for the brothers coming out, of course, the water for tuning in. We are on Isupk at 704 on YouTube and Isupk Charlotte on Facebook. So again, the water for tuning in. We are in Kannapolis, North Carolina tonight. Of course, if you see us downtown Charlotte, we are just a few miles down the road here in Kannapolis. So, of course, you're welcome to come tune in. Class Monday through Friday. And, of course, this being Friday, we are going to our Lashawan Qadash. I'm preaching off the 500 Palaya. And, of course, as we start every week, we're going to start with the alphabet. All right? It's the first, it's your introduction to the language, right? It's how you're going to learn the language. Just like learning your ABCs all over again. You're going to learn the Lashawan Qadash the exact same way, starting with the alphabet. We don't have a young man today, so I'm going to go ahead and put the alphabet up for us. And then, of course, we're going to jump right back into the Torah. But we're going to start with the alphabet. Kim. Oh. There. Look. Okay, of course, read it from right to left. So again, this is your alphabet sheet. You can get an alphabet sheet by coming to a class, or you can get an alphabet sheet by you can Google Isupk Hebrew alphabet and actually go to the images and print out, your copies of your alphabet sheet there as well. And of course, this is just putting your alphabet sheet together. As I said a little earlier, it's just like putting your ABCs together. You're gonna have to learn the alphabet in order for you to start learning the actual language. So starting from right to left, of course, yeah, ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sta, I, pa, tza, hua, ra, sha, and da. All right, those are the sounds they made. Of course, what you're going to see now, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the ancient forest. Everybody can see it. Ah. Ba. Ga. Da. Ha. Wa. Za. Look at the camera. All right. That is your agent in the blue. Oh, so you said what? Oh, yep. You're right. All right. Now we're gonna put it in the Syrian. That Syrian, of course, is what you will read when you're reading the blue letter Bible. Of course, if you don't have a Torah. Ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, da, ka, ha, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, ha, yeah, look on camera. Za, qua, ra, da, and tha. All right. And of course, who wants to help me out in the classroom with our the characters that have, if they get at the end of the word, they have a different character. Anybody want to help me? Cub. Cub. Ma.
Na,
Na,
Ha,
Ha,
and Taza.
and Tazah. All right, those are your third characters. Of course, if they end at the end of a word, you'll see those characters. All right. All right, and so of course, as we see, that orange might be a little bit light. Hopefully, we good to go there. Of course. Now, of course, this is something you want to do as much as you can. This is the only way that you're going to start to begin to be able to read and recall our Hebrew. Of course, this is the language that the Most High intended for us to have. It's our language, okay? So-called Black men and women, Native American men and women, and Hispanic men and women. This is our history and our culture. Of course, it's our language that was taken from us, and it's high time that we take it back. And so the only way you're going to get more comfortable with the sounds, the characters, whether you're going ancient or Assyrian, is to learn your alphabet, right? So it's our alphabet sheet. Now, of course, we're going to jump right back into the Torah. We stopped at 5 and 16, am I right? So now we're going to go Genesis chapter 5 and verse 17. You want to go ahead and get your blue letter Bible out at home. Right?
I'm going to sit down. How do you do? Okay.
Right. All right. So we're reading that in English, of course. Book of Genesis, chapter 5, verse 17. And all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. Okay, reading that in the Hebrew, of course. We're gonna do it how we always do it, of course. What I want you to do is to recognize right off the bat what you see, what you should recognize. How is it going to end? You're going to recognize whatever you see first when you see the word. That's what we want to talk about first. And what are we saying here? The wah is going to be by itself. What else do we see?
The first, Yah, and the hot, actually, they're all separate.
They're all going to be separate, right? So what we got?
Waya, Hawaya.
Waya, hawa. Waya, hayawa. Right? Waya, hayawa. They're all singular. Wayahaya. Wayahaya. All right, what we got here?
The top and the mud together.
The what?
The cop and the mud together.
Making what sound? Cow. Right? So whatever we got in the orange, we keep the orange cow. All right, so what we seeing here?
The Yah is by itself.
Okay, the Yah is by itself. So we know that this word is going to be in the Yah, right? We know it's going to be in the Yah. Okay, so the rest of it is what?
The Yah and the mud go together.
The Yah and Ma connect. And what sound?
Yam.
Yam. So we know this word is what?
Yam, yeah.
Yum, yum. All right, keep going. What do you recognize right off the bat? The ah and the la are going to connect, making what sound? Ow, right? So you know it's going to end in ow. Right? So now, you're just putting the rest of it together, right? So what you got?
Maha, Lala.
Okay.
Maha, Lala.
Mahala, la'al. Good job. Mahala, la'al. Ma, ha, la, la'al. Mahala, la'al. Keep going.
The Ma and the Shah is going to connect.
The ma and the cha are going to connect, making what sound?
Mash.
Mosh. So we know it's going to end in what? Mosh, right? Mosh. Okay, so now all you got to do, put the rest of it together, which is,
Kai.
so putting the whole word together,
Kamash.
Kamash. Kamash. Keep going.
The Yah and the Ma.
The yam, the ma going to connect, making what sound?
Yam.
Yum. All right, putting the rest of it together.
Watashai. Watashai.
Wakashayam. 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 Keep going.
The ha is silent,
The ha is going to be silent.
and also the na and the ha connect.
The na and the ha connect.
Makes na.
Make what sound?
Na.
Na. So we know it's going to end in na. Now putting the whole in the beginning of it together, which is what? Putting the beginning of it together, which is
Sha.
putting the whole thing together.
Shana.
Shana. Keep going.
And the ha the silent.
All right, and then again, for people at home, a lot of it, it's just like if you learn how to read, you will learn sight words. You will learn different principles, how the thought sounds, right? Or how how you learn you teach the kids how they read. They learn certain principles. So we know even in this principle here, in this scripture, we know that the ha is always going to be at the end. It's always going to be silent, right? So if it's silent, we know that it's going to connect with the letter right beside it. So we know that that's a what?
That is connect. The na and the ha is connect.
The na and the ha is going to connect, making what sound?
Na.
Just right here. It's going to be a na sound. All right. So all we have to do now is put the beginning of the word together, which is
Washamana.
all right. And putting the whole thing together.
Washamana.
Washamana. Washamana. Washamana. You going?
And the ha.
You getting the next one. The what?
The ha.
Where you at? I don't know where you at. You can't get the next one. Mm-hmm.
The wa and the tha can connect.
The wa and the tha going to connect, and what sound?
Wa.
Wa. So we know it's going to end in wa. All right. Now, of course, put the beginning of the word together. We have a what?
Ma.
A ma and a ha. Put the whole thing together.
Ma'awa.
Ma'awa. Ma. Wa. All right. We got next. What we got? Come on. What we got?
The ha is silent.
The ha is silent.
The na and the ha connect.
Okay. Okay, we know the ha is silent. And then the na and the ha can connect, make what sound?
Na.
Na. No, it's going to end in na. All right. Put the beginning of the word together. Then it's what?
Sha.
Put the whole thing together.
Shana.
Shana. Keep going.
The ma and the tha connect.
The ma and the tha connect, make what sound?
Ma.
Ma. So we know it's going to end in ma. All right. And the beginning of the word, then you got to do left. What you got?
Wayama.
So you got, what's the beginning of the word?
Waya.
Putting the whole thing together.
Wayama.
Wayama. I want you to do it like that. That way, they can understand how you put it together versus hearing it, right? So when I'm saying what's in blue, I just want you to say what's in blue, right? Because that's the beginning of the word. So it's the wa and the ya. And then putting the whole thing together, you have Wayama. All right, so reading it again from the English, book of Genesis, chapter 5 and verse 17. And all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. Reading that in the Hebrew, you have Wayahayawa, Kam, Yamyah, Mahalala Al, Kamash, Wakasha'aya, Shana, Washamana, Ma'awath, Shana, Wayamath. Give your man to write that down, and then we'll go to the next verse. No, actually, it's fine. Here, you want to come and put the, I'm going to let you put the, I like to use brand. So you want to put the Assyrian force, right? All right. Here you go. Okay, stop. They can't see that. I'm sure they cannot see that out. Give me a second, I'm gonna get some marker. They can't see that. Try yellow. Try yellow right there. Do that yellow line. Right there. Do that yellow. Voila. Do the line. You can't do it again. Erase it, because they can't see it. Erase my lot off. Please. That's 205 right there. 205 in the bean. Then we go to camp with it. 200. Stupid. Almost done? All right. Done? All right. Reading that one more time in English. Book of Genesis, chapter 5, and verse 17. And all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. Reading that in the Hebrew. Wayahayo, how, yam yah, wahalala al, kamash, watashayam, shana, washamana, ma'awat, shana, wayamath. All right, give you a minute to write that down. Of course, we're going to go to the next verse.
What? Get in the chair. Hey. Get in the chair. Or you have to clean the water. Get in the chair.
All right. All right. Reading it in English. Book of Genesis, chapter 5 and verse 18. And Jared lived 162 years, and he begot Enoch. This one's on you, right? It's gonna be the first one we're gonna try, right? I think you can do it. This is your first one, right? I mean, this is the first one I've never seen you do, so let's just do it. All right, what we got? We're working out the first. That's a what? Here's what I want you to do. First thing we want to recognize with you here is that as you see, right here, right here, right here, right here, you see nothing, right? So that means they're separate words, right? Right here, you see a dash. That means these words actually connect. That's the first thing I want you to recognize. The first thing I want you to see is that we know this word is going to connect. This word is going to connect. That means these are going to connect. Everything's going to connect. Right? All right. So let's start from right to left. Start from the right word. What do we recognize from right to back? No. What do you want? I know you can recognize the characters, but I want to know from a principal standpoint, what are you recognizing right off the bat? The what? There's a wa at the end. Where? Point to the wa. Yeah. There's a ya at the end of the first word. What do we know about that wa? I mean that ya. The ya carries before the ya. The what? Carries before the ya. No. This is why. This is who wants to help her out. It's okay. You just got to understand the principles. What we recognize right off the bat? First word. What do you recognize? What do you recognize right off the bat? The rock. The what? The rock. The yard. First thing you should recognize right here. We know this is one word that's going to connect. First part of the word is what we recognize here. Come on, guys. Is that the yah is at the end is by itself. The yah is at the end by itself. And that the yah and the ka go together. The yah and the ka go together. So making what? How we gonna get this? What is that? What? Yeah. I mean, good job. But not take this off. What we got connected? What's this sound? What's that gonna be? Yeah. That's yeah. What's this? Put that together. Put that whole thing together. Yak, yak, yak. So we know this word is going to end in yak, yak, right? All right. We're going to put the beginning of it together, which is, all right, so put the whole thing together. Well, yak, yak. Say it loud so you can hear. There it is. Well, yak, yak. Okay. So the second part of this word, what we got here, we'll recognize. The what? The thought and the what? The da and I don't know. Point to what you're saying. Don't tell me what you're saying. What goes together? The da and the da and the raw. The da and the raw. So here's what I want you to recognize for you. Right? If the da and the raw goes together, if they connect, what sound would a da and a raw? What sound would a da and a raw make? Ain't gonna be no sound, right? So that's how you know a da and a raw ain't connecting. But what will connect is right. We read right to left. We read right to left. So that sound, the ra and the da is gonna make what sound? Ra. Because the da and the ra won't make that, right? But a ra and the da will. So we know that this first gonna end in ra, right? All right. Now put the beginning of it together. So put the whole thing. There you go. Good job. Keep going. We'll recognize it. The one and the mouth. Say it loud so we can hear it home. They want to be able to hear it home. So we know that what makes it sound is the yam and mama. Yam. So we know it's going to end in yam. All right. Now we got to do now is put the rest of the word together. And what's the rest? What's the beginning of this word? No. Shatayam. Shatayam. I recognize that is kind of confused everybody. So at home, if you want y'all to recognize, when I'm connecting to blue, I'm not really connecting as much as I'm trying to get you to realize that's all you got to do is put the rest of the word together, right? They're not going to connect like what you see with the Y and with the orange, right? You only really connect usually at the end. If you see when you read the Torah, there are some times where you will see words within the middle or the beginning of the word that may connect, right? But for the most part, the connections are going to happen at the end, right? So that's what Shatayam. All right, we got that. I did. They couldn't stop playing. The Yan and Ma connect, right? Making what's that? Yam. So we know the word is going to end in Yam. All right, now all we got to do is put the rest of the word together, which is Washa Shayam. All right, Washa Shayam. Washa Shayam. The na and the ha go together, and what else do we know? The ha is going to be silent. Good job. So what sound is that na and the ha commit? Na. It's going to end in na. All right. All right. Now what? And then all we got to do now is what? What we got to do? No, tell me what we gotta do.
Oh. Beginning.
At the beginning. So what's the beginning?
Sha.
Okay, so putting the whole thing together.
Shana.
Shana. Good job. Keep going.
And
The ah and the tha do what?
the.
They go together, make it what sound?
Ah.
Ah. Alright, now what we gotta do now? At the beginning, which is Wama. Putting the whole thing together. Wama. Good job. Keep going.
Shana.
No. I understand. That's good job, you are. But I want you to tell at home how you're coming up with that. What do we recognize? The na and the ha go together. The ha is sound. Making what sound? That's going to be the end, correct? Okay. Na is going to be at the end. And then doing what now? At the beginning, which is Sha. The whole thing together is what?
Shana.
Shana. Keep going.
La and da.
La and the dot, right? They do that, right? And then what sound?
La.
La. So it's going to end in what?
La.
La. What else we got? No, so what we doing next? At the beginning. What's the beginning?
Wa ya wa la.
No, what's the beginning?
Wa ya wa.
Okay, so putting the rest of it together.
Wa ya wa na.
Waya wala. Good job. Waya wala. What's that?
Ah. The ah and the.
The ah and the ta go together, making what sound?
Ah.
Ah. Okay, keep going.
The wa.
The wa and the what? This is what comes, this is where your alphabet sheet comes in line, right, guys? That's a what? That's not a no. Okay, good. So that's not a no. A who? A cub. Yep. Okay. That's correct. Hmm? What do we recognize? Come on. We know that's a cub. What do we recognize? The wa and the cub go together, making what sound?
Walk.
Walk. Walk, or pronounce waka. Walk. Okay? Putting the rest of it together.
Na.
All right, putting the rest of it together, which is the beginning. Kana.
Na. Wa. Kana. Wa.
Kind of walk. Right? Kind of walk. Good job, good job. I need you to do it, kind of walk. Right, so now I need you to go ahead and use the other one and put the ancient up forward. See how easy that was? How old are you? 10. If a 10-year-old can do it, us grown people should be able to learn our ABCs, right? And learn our Hebrew as well, if it's important to us, right? If it's important to us, we learn it. Like all the laws, statutes, and commandments should be important to us. All of our culture should be important to us. Everything should be important, guys, right? Men and women, black men and women, Native American men and women, Hispanic men and women, all of our culture should be important to us. The problem is it's not important to us. Everybody else's culture is important to us. That's why we'll learn every language in the book. We'll go to school learning language, but we won't learn our language, right? It's time to take our language back, learn our culture. That's why we'll celebrate all the holidays. We're going to celebrate our holy holidays, like the Sabbath, or like the other holy holidays that are highlighted in the Bible. We won't do those things, and this is the reason why, because we have to take our heritage, our culture serious, right? And the water for her for making it important to her to learn his Hebrew. Going to wild God, proud of Shatayam. All right, wild job. Give her a hand. Everybody give her a hand. All right, so again, Book of Genesis chapter 5 and verse 18, as it reads in the English. And Jared lived 162 years and begot Enoch. Reading that in the Hebrew. Wayakya Yerah Shatayam. Washashayam. Shana. Wama'ah. Shana. Wayawala. Ah. All right, so again, this was one of the first ones that we've had to kind of address. The what you see here, I wanted you to kind of see that when you see that dash in the middle, that means that these words actually connect, right? These words kind of go together, all right? Otherwise, they'll just be separate words. So that's why you see that circle around that right there, because I want you to recognize right off the bat, when you first see the word, what do we recognize? How is it going to end? What's going to connect? And then we'll put together the word. You did that real fast. Again, real proud of it. Give you guys a minute to put that together, and we'll go to the next one. Do it after this. All right, reading in the English. Book of Genesis, chapter 5, and verse 19 in the English. And Jared lived after he begot Enoch 800 years, and he begot sons and daughters. So, of course, one of the things that I'm trying to say is you start to read the Hebrew, you start to read, of course, the last verse it started with and Jared, right? And Jared lived so many years. It also had Enoch in that verse as well. So at some point, you will just start to see how words are going to come together. Once you see them, they'll come together for you, all right? So if I need you to do me a favor, right? We're going to do the same thing she did. She's going to recognize right off the bat. What do we recognize right off the bat here? Yeah, both of these what? Maybe what?
Both words connect.
Both of these words are going to connect. Okay, so the first word.
So the Yah by itself,
The Yah by itself.
and then the Yah and the Ha.
The Yah and the Ha going together, making what sound?
Yah,
The finish the end of it?
Yah,
Yah, Yah. So we know it's going to end in Yah.
Yeah.
Yah, Yah. All right, now what we doing now?
The beginning of the word.
Which is?
Wa.
Wow. So we know the first part of this word is going to be what?
Wa.
Okay, you're putting them both in together.
Wa, Yah.
Well, yeah. Okay, the second part of that word.
The Ra and the Dot go together.
Okay, making what sound?
Rod.
Rod. So we're going to end in rod. All right, putting the beginning of the word together.
Yah.
Yah, right? So how's that word going to go?
Yah, Rod.
Putting the whole thing together.
Yah.
Slow down. Try again.
Yah.
Slow down. Reading from right to left. You're reading from right to left. I'm going to say you're trying to read the English from right to left, but you're reading this from right to left. This is going to go left to right. No. But read it from right. Read it from right to left. Read this from right to left. Wayakya. There we go. Wayakya Yarad. Right? But I'm trying to let her understand that, of course, if you read the Hebrew, we're going to read from right to left. But when I put it up here, right? When I translate it up here, it's going to be this way, right? I guess you were reading it from that way, because you said Yah first. But it's Wayakya Yarad. Keep going. What we got next? Yah by itself. What else? Khan, Yah, Ra go together, making the end of this the word what? Karya. And then this word is going to be Karya. Karya. And the beginning of it is Ha. Putting the whole thing together. Akarya. Akarya. Keep going.
The wise by itself.
The wise by itself.
The yah and the da go together.
The yah and the da go together, making what sound?
Yah.
Yah. So putting the whole thing together at the end.
Yadwa.
Yadwa. So it's going to end in Yadwa. All right. Now what we got to do now is do what? Put the rest of it together, right? And what's the rest of it? What's the beginning?
Hawala.
Hawala. Hawala.
Hawala.
Wa. La. Putting the whole thing together.
Hawala Yadwa.
Hawala Yadwa. Hawala Yadwa. Keep going.
Ha. Go together.
On the thigh go together, make what sound?
Ha.
Ah. All right, keep going.
The cup. Excuse me. The wa. The cup go together.
The wa and the cub go together, make what sound?
Walk.
Walk. Ooh. Putting the rest of it together.
Kala. Kana. Walk.
Kana walk. Well, kana. The beginning of it is kana. And putting the whole thing together is what?
Kana. Kana walk.
Kana walk.
The ha is by the ha is silent.
The high is by itself.
No, the ha is silent. The ha is silent,
The high is silent.
and the na and the ha go together.
And the na and the ha go together, making what sound?
Na.
Na. So it's going to end in the na. All right. And then what was that now to what?
At the beginning.
At the beginning, which is
Shama.
Shama. Right? And the whole thing together is what?
Shamana.
Shamana. Keep going.
The wa and the tha go together.
Making what sound?
Wa.
Wa. We know it's going to end in wa. What we got to do now?
At the beginning.
At the beginning, which is
Ma'a.
Ma'a. Ma'a. Putting the whole thing together.
Ma'awa.
Ma'a wa. Keep going.
The H is silent.
The ha is silent.
The ha is silent.
Mm-hmm.
And the na and the ha go together.
The na and the ha go together, making what sound?
Na.
Na. So it's going to end in na. What we got to do now?
To the beginning.
Which is
Sha.
Sha. Putting the whole thing together.
Shana.
Shana. Keep going.
The la and the da go together.
La and da go together, making what sound?
La.
La. And in the la, now what we gotta do?
At the beginning.
At the beginning, which is what?
Wanya. Wala.
What's the beginning?
Waya wala.
What's the beginning?
Waya wa.
Wayawa. Wayawa. Wayawala. Put the next together. I mean, what we doing? What we saying?
The ya and the ma go together.
The yam and the ma go together, making what sound?
Yum.
Yum. And then yum. What we got next?
At the beginning.
Okay, which is
Bana.
bana. Okay, bana. Putting the whole thing together.
Bana yum.
Bana yum. All right. Keep going.
The wa and the ta go together.
The wa and the ta go together, making what sound?
Wa.
Wa. What else we got? Which is
Wabana.
wabana. Wabana. Wa. Ba. Na. Making what sound?
Wabana wa.
Wabana wa. All right. So if you can do me a favor, and let's use one of these. Put the Syrian up for me, I mean the ancient up for me. Hey, come on. What? Yeah, come on. Oh, yes. Yeah, tell me what the word is before you put it up there, though, by the way. What you got next? Ah.
Shama, Shama, Na. Ma'awa.
Ma'awa. Good job. Wait a minute, what are you doing? Take your time so they can see, because I don't know if they can see what that is you're trying to do. Because that's Ma'awa, right? Is he right there? Let's start it over. There we go. Do it better. Give me a better. Can you give me a better Ma? Because it looks like you just tried to. Yeah. Okay. Ma'awa.
Shana.
Shana. Shana. Okay. Whoop, what's that? What you got? What's the word?
Wa. Ya.
Wayawala. Wayawala. Banayam. Banayam.
Wapana. Wa.
All right, give her a hand. That was the wild job. I'm gonna need you on this next one. I just want to make sure that we following along as well. Reading that in the Hebrew, so I can read that in the English. Book of Genesis, chapter 5 and verse 19. And Jared lived after he begot Enoch 800 years and begot sons and daughters. Reading that in the Hebrew, Wayakya, Yerad, Akarya, Hawalayada, Ah, Kanawak, Shamana, Ma'awak, Shana, Wayawala, Banayam, Wabanawaf. Give you a minute, of course, to write that down, and we'll see if we can get one more verse in, one more verse in, all right? We'll let you get one more, okay? Since you did such a good job on the other one, one more. All right, so we're gonna see if you can get these together. You got about 5 minutes. We'll see how fast you can do them, okay? All right, so before we give you, let you try it, okay, we're gonna read it in the English. Book of Genesis, chapter 5, and verse 20. And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. One thing that I'm going to say before you start is that the more you read, again, I'll say it again, the more you read in the Hebrew, the more you're reading the Torah, you will see that even in the English, when you saw all the days, you saw that in verse 17, right? So we've already done, in these, what? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 verses that we did today. You've literally seen every word. In this last one that we're about to do, you've seen every word. You've seen every word by now. Just within the last 5 verses, you have seen every word, right? So we're going to try to see if we can figure out everything. So what you got? First word. What do you recognize?
Yeah, and we did walk.
No. What do you recognize?
I mean, the one.
The one has what?
On
No. The one.
or
In this particular word, nothing's going to connect. So what's the word?
yeah, yeah, we walk.
Why you higher? Why you higher? Why ya ha ya wa? And like I said, you've seen this word today. That's why we gotta keep your head, focused in. Of course, we aren't the Christian church, but even at home, if you are just tuning in for the first few times, we are not a Christian church. You shouldn't just be in here to hold the Bible and to get a good vibe. You should actually be in here willing to learn, right? Being here with the pen and the paper to learn your Hebrew, learn your words, to actually see. At least we saw that word, I want to say at least 2 times before this verse, right? So what are we saying on the next word?
Together?
They're all going to connect together, meaning this word, and this word, right? And how do we know that?
Because this dash.
Because of the dash. So because of the dash, we know that these words are going to connect. Right.
I got the first one. Cow.
All right. So we know, that these words are going to connect. So what are they? Starting with the first word we got. No. So what we got? Because what? How we know the cow?
These two, the top and the lock are together.
Okay, they connect making what sound? Cow. Okay? And it's going to connect with what? What's the next thing? What's the next word? Or what do we recognize in that next word? You're definitely wrong. The next one. But want to help her out with the next word, what connects?
The wrong of God. Okay.
No.
Oh,
I mean, not the next word.
the yah by itself.
The Yah is God itself.
And the yah is marking.
The Yah is my connect. So we know it's going to end in Yah. Right? That's right. Yeah, we know it's going to end in Yah. And then what else? Finish it up, then.
Yeah, meaning yum.
No, what do you reckon? I'm not hearing you. I want, for those at home, I want to see how you got it.
Those two are going to be.
What are those two? Tell them like we're home. What are those? The yah and the ma can connect and what sound?
Yeah.
Yah. So putting the whole thing together is going to be what?
Yeah.
Yum yah. So again, for those at home, the reason why we searching these dash marks in between is because unlike any of these other words, these words are synced by themselves. These words happen to be linked together. These words happen to be linked together. That's why you're seeing that dash. She recognized it early. So the beginning of it, we have cow, yum yah. What we got here?
The rock and the dog.
The rock and the dog are together, making what sound?
Rock.
Rod. Rod. All right, now what we doing?
And put the beginning of the word.
Put the beginning of the word, and that's the yah. So it's going to be what?
Yeah. Yeah. Rock. Yeah.
Yo, rod. Okay, so put that whole sequence of words together.
Yeah.
There we go. Cow, yum yah, your rod. All right, what's next?
The yeah and the ma.
The yah and the ma go together, making what sound?
Yeah.
Yum. All right, and what are we doing next?
At the beginning.
At the beginning, which is
Sha.
Shathat. Put the whole thing together.
Sha. Yeah.
All right, keep going. The yah and the ma go together, making what sound? Yum. So it's going to end in yum. All right, and put the rest of it, and then what we doing? Sorry. At the beginning, which is
Na.
where do you see the na? That's the wa.
It's a little longer.
No, it's not. It's the same one. Same one. If it was longer, I know what you're getting at, right? But if it was longer, it would be in the beginning. If it was, but what I'm saying is, if it was longer, it would have been what? It would have had that. It would have only been at the end of the word, and that would have been a na. That's being right. Right. So if you wouldn't see a na in the beginning because you're only going to see those third characters at the end of the word. So what you got?
Yeah. Sha.
Okay. What sha. So we got what sha. What sha. And what's the end?
Yum.
Putting the whole thing together. What sha yum. What sha yum. Keep going. Come on. Come on, Wes. What you got?
The na and the ha.
The na and the ha go together, making what sound?
Oh, no.
And the ha is silent. So the ha is going to be silent, and then the na and the ha connect, making what sound? Na. So we know it's going to end in na. All right. And what we got left?
The sha.
That's ja. All right. So put the sha right there. What's the word? Shana. All right. All right. So what's next?
The sha.
The shy and the I put together, make what sound?
Shy.
Shy. So this is going to end in shy. Put the rest of it together.
Wa.
Watha. Watha. Wa. Tha. Put the whole thing together.
Wata shy.
Watha shy. All right. Next word.
The wa and the sha.
What? Go together, make one sound.
Wa.
Wa. All right. What's next?
beginning.
At the beginning, which is
The ma.
the ma and the what? The ma and the ah. We have ma, ah. When the rest of it holding together,
Ma'awa.
ma'awa. Keep going.
The na. The na and the ah go together.
The na and the what go together?
Na, ha.
The na and the ha go together.
Ha.
The ha is silent. Make it what sound? Nah. You know what's going to end in what?
Da.
All right. And then what's left?
The
The beginning, which is
sha.
sha. Making the whole word.
Shana.
Shana. Keep going.
The ma and the ma.
Do what? Go together. Make it what sound?
Ma.
Ma. So the end of the word is in what?
Ma.
What's left?
The beginning.
Which is?
Wa and ya.
So that's how we say. What is it again?
Ya and the wa and the ya.
Okay, so come on, yeah. Okay, so what we got? Oh, sorry, I'm tripping. We got in. All right, we got wa, ya,
Ma.
wa, ya, ma. All right, good job. So if you can do me a favor, let me get that, my man. Computer, why you have? Okay. Do me a favor, put the Haitian up there for us on this last verse. That's a good job to our job. Tell me what the word is before you put it up there.
Wa ya ma. Ya.
Mm-hmm. Cow.
Yam ya.
Yeah.
Ya wa. Shafana. Shana. Shana. Wata shine. Ma, ah, why, not?
Hmm? All right. To our God give her hand. All right. Rename the English. We have Book of Genesis, chapter 5, verse 20. Rename the English. And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. Rename the Hebrew. We have Wahayah, blood, Wayahayah, cow, blood, Wayahayah, cow, Yamya, Yorah, Shathayam, Washashayam, Shana, Wakashai, Ma'awaf, Shana, Wayamath. All right? And again, as we said at the beginning of the class, hey, listen, this is our language. This is our culture. All right? In order to, first of all, we definitely need to be following the laws, statutes, and commandments, showing the Most High that we are even worthy of our language, but this is our language. Black man, Native American man, and Hispanic men and women. These are our languages, are our words. It's high time that we take back what was taken from us, right? That's following the law, statutes, and commandments. That's following our culture. That's celebrating our holy days. That's being more familiar with our native tongue, right? And so with that, I encourage you to come and tune in. Of course, we are in Kannapolis, North Carolina. 2 miles down the road from Charlotte. You can see us downtown Charlotte. Of course, we have classes in Durham and in Raleigh, Fayetteville, all over North Carolina, South Carolina, all over Georgia, all over the South, East Coast, West Coast. So don't have any excuse anymore. And again, to watch for tuning in, Isupk 704 on YouTube, and Isupk Charlotte on Facebook. So with that, of course, I'm Officer Belaya. With that, we're going to go ahead and pick the class up. Come on here. All right. All right. So we're going to start with the Lord's Prayer. The lock. For our ISUPK security announcement, we are the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. Start out 1 West, 125th Street, all in New York. Rules for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are all doing this for 6 months. They have to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves with the word. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe is a commandment found in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10, means 10 in the Hebrew. My 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives, we give to the treasury department or the teacher. Priest funds, free wall for the preacher are mandatory, whatsoever amount to the life. If you don't want to be a troop in the school, start wearing all black. That's black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. With that, Maya means to stand, while Payam Akudam means to turn the face to the east. Yeah. We're going to end with the Lord's Prayer. Right. The Lord's Prayer. Shabbat Shemayim. Qadash. Ayah. Simcha. Yahweh. Malakah. Tapa'ah. Tazah. Ayah. Aisha. Bawasha. Wa. Ayah. Washemayim. Hunna. Lakam. Ka. Yawam. Wasalakna. Wabna. Lakna. Kabawapina. Aha. Rabiana. One. Apol. Aksana. Mayan. Ra. Rabia. Lakam. Amalakwa. Wa Ala. Wa Para. Awolamian. In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day the bread, and forgive us our debts, and we forgive our debtors. And let us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Star is to turn. The shop is to remain seated for the sisters. The God curse you to the men of Israel. Find Shabbat. Amani. How about some of y'all start with the thumb? Sisters, Amani. Don't give one curse to the sisters. Mighty Shabbat. Amani. Barak. Yahweh. How about some of y'all start? Right in the top. That's it.